Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa tabi'ihi wa man wala. Brothers, Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala says, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. You have in the messenger of Allah Azza wa Jal the best example to follow. Or he's the excellent exemplar. You can learn from this Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. And we see that the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam is the best, really the best example that we can learn from the details, every details of his life. We can learn a lot of things. And as we promised in the last Jumu'ah that we will talk about some of the characters of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam in the Jumu'ah that will come, and we will talk about some details about the life of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. For example, how he was inside the home, how he was dealing with his wives, how he was dealing with Ahlul Bayt. How was the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam at home? Because we really need to know this issue. We really need, because as you know that the family problems that we have in this age and in this modern life, and also the domestic violence that is spreading and is among Muslims and non-Muslims really, and how we can learn from the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam to deal with the issues at home. Look, the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam gives us a criterion to know whether someone is good or not, whether someone is really someone a good person or not. He says the best خيركم خيركم لأهله. The best of you is the best for his family, and I'm the best for my family. Look, the Prophet ﷺ gives us a criterion to know, and this criterion to be good to your wife and to your children at home, because you know that there are some people, they are good with other people. Always they have a smiling face, and you know they help others, they have mercy on others, and they talk nicely with others. But when it comes to their family, you know, they are totally different people. The Prophet ﷺ does not like this kind of duplicity or this kind of hypocrisy or double standards, to live in to have different personalities. No, tells us that if you're really someone who is good, you should be good to your family. And there are people, they are not like that. When it comes to their family, that you know they talk so badly, so rudely to their families. For example, he is outside, he is talking to his friend, he is smiling, he is talking so nicely. But when his wife calls him, and when the phone rings, maybe he does not pick up the phone. Maybe even when he picks up, without letting this poor lady to greet him or to even say something, he is telling, why you are calling me? Don't call me. I'm busy. I'm at work. You should know that. Without letting this person, this lady, to speak. So maybe this lady, maybe his wife telling him that, what should you eat? What should you want to eat when you come back for dinner? What should I prepare for dinner? This person should be embarrassed at that time. But no, he stays with his arrogance and he said, don't call me back for these things. The Prophet ﷺ, that's why he tells us that the best among you is the best for his family. And look, the Prophet ﷺ, how he was with his family. Aisha radiallahu anha, may Allah be pleased with her, she said, when she was asked whether the Prophet ﷺ was doing houseworks at home or not, she said that the Prophet was fixing his shoes by himself, was milking his goat or his sheep, and patching his garment, or let's say sewing his clothes, and he was saving himself. The Prophet ﷺ was doing all these things by himself. Well, he was the Prophet. Well, he was the greatest person ever Allah Azza wa Jal created. And well, see, there are other people, when they come back, Muslims, when they come back from work, let's say, no one can talk to them, to this person at home. Maybe he does not even greet his children and his wife. And maybe he sits down somewhere and no one can talk to him. And he just orders, give me this and prepare this and that, without doing any houseworks. You may not know the importance of houseworks, and there are scientific studies from sociology. There are studies that prove and show that the importance of helping your wife, and these studies show us that helping your wife make your relationship with your wife much stronger, and also make your wife to love you more. And also the children learn from you and they will help their mom. And also another thing, and that's also important, and this is something that's proven. You can see that. Try by yourself and then you will see the result. Another thing, if you help your wife at home, even when you come back at work, I know that you are tired, but even doing just small things, that would help a lot. And this make the demands of your wife much less. You know that our wives, they have a lot of demands. We want this, you have to buy this for the house, you have to buy this and do this and that. So when you help your wife, wallahi, their demands becomes much less. And this is something important. And also, that's why we say we have to learn from the Prophet ﷺ. That's why he is the most important and the most excellent exemplar that we can learn from his life, from every details of his life. Even when we have problems with our homes, the Prophet ﷺ is best example. Look, when he had problems with his wives, he left the home. The Prophet left the home. I'm not saying he left the home for 1 month and he stayed at mosque, he didn't come back. So I'm not saying that when you have problems with your wife, just leave the home and don't come back. What I mean is that look at this. Compare this to people that when they have a small problem with their wives, they shout at them and they go, get out from this, from my home, this is my home, my house, don't come back, and go to where you come from, go to the house of your dad. Look at this, compare this to the Prophet ﷺ. He left the house just not to make the situation much worse. That's why we have to learn from the Prophet ﷺ. I really wanted to make the khutbah much longer because it really is important topic. But inshallah, the point is there are other important points. Inshallah, next Jum'ah we will talk about especially the issue of jealousy and your wife spying on you. How the Prophet ﷺ dealt with this issue. We ask Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala to accept us among the followers of the Prophet ﷺ. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات. اللهم ارحم موتانا واشف مرضانا وسلم أحياءنا وآمن روعاتنا. اللهم انصر المسلمين المستضعفين في كل مكان. اللهم انصر المسلمين المستضعفين في كل مكان. اللهم أبعدنا عن الحروب. اللهم أبعدنا عن البلاء والوباء. اللهم أبعد المسلمين عن كل بلاء وباء. اللهم أبعدنا عن عذابك. اللهم أبعدنا عن عذابك. اللهم أبعدنا عن عذابك. اللهم اغفر لنا. اللهم اغفر لنا. اللهم اغفر لنا. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. أقم الصلاة.